Yes, people, welcome back to another video where England have just hit Serbia for 5. Yes, 5-0 England away at Serbia. And I have to say, look, England do displease a lot of people. England have suffered criticism after the win against Andorra. But today, fair play. I don't even normally make content on England, but do you know what? Today's display was one of the best performances I've seen from England in a long time as a collective, both defensively, midfield, and offensively. They've just gone to a team that have been unbeaten in 7 games, not conceded a goal in their World Cup qualifiers so far, and England have just gone there and destroyed them 5-0. And it didn't even look like they were breaking a sweat. That is the type of football we want to see as England fans. That is the type of performance you want to see going into major competitions. That is the type of team I'm now going to question that I want to see consistently, because an England team like that can give anyone trouble. And when I talk anyone trouble, that is the Frances, that is the Spains, that is the Italys, that is the Argentinas. We've been to the Euro final just last year. We got to that Euro final. We've got to the World Cup semi-finals. We got to the Euro finals just after that previous World Cup. You know, when you look at England, we have a team there that can be threatening, that can be damaging. And tonight, we saw a difference. I saw a difference in attitude. I saw a difference in wanting to score. I saw a difference in the hunger. I saw a mentality there that I've been looking at England thinking, are you just one of them teams that are always going to fall short? And they still might when it comes to the World Cup in 2026. But what I like is the way they've bounced back tonight after that 2-0 performance against Andorra, where you should be hitting them for 5 or 6. No disrespect. But that was clinical. That was proper. And I have to respect it today, because there's a lot of players that I want to shout out in this video. And I'm hoping that it means now that their confidence can continue and they can have long-term futures in the England setup potentially, because that's what we're looking for right now. But, you know, to win 5-0 away at Serbia, first of all, is a very, very good win. Serbia have beaten Austria. I think they've beaten Sweden or some other teams that are, you know, pretty decent as well. But for England to go there and destroy them like that, fair play. And the Serbian fans, they would not like that. But England fans, you can go away smiling and happy. 5-0, Harry Kane, Noni Madueke, Ezri Konsa, Marc Guehi and Marcus Rashford all on the score sheet. But the first player I'm going to congratulate and talk about is Noni Madueke. And I think I might have to make a video on him, because Noni Madueke has been under a lot of criticism in the last 12 months. Went to Chelsea, not quite hit it off. Enzo Maresca said, yeah, do you know what? It's a plus to requirements. You're happy to see him go to Arsenal. He's gone to Arsenal. Saka's got injured, and that's where it started. Okay, we've always said about depth for Saka, both for England and both for Arsenal. Noni Madueke seems to be that number one guy, both for Arsenal and both for England. And what he's shown so far this season is very encouraging. Very encouraging, to the point I'm like, do you know what? He's starting to become himself. He's starting to show the talent that got him through the ranks at PSV and into that first team, and why he got the move to Chelsea. And then potentially Arteta saw something in him to give him the move to Arsenal. Because Noni Madueke, for me, over these last 2 games, has been the main threat and main outlet on the wings. And I love it, because he's given me that sort of old school feel where he's happy to take on his man going down the touchline. He's happy to go on the outside. We saw it in the first 5 minutes, taking on his man twice, getting past him, nearly winning a penalty, didn't quite get the penalty, but he's showing the intent. He's showing the aggression. And that's what you want. You want players that are attacking to take on their man, not just play it safe and just go back to the right back, pass it into midfield. No, show that confidence that you're going to say, right, I'm looking at you and it's me v you. It's 1v1. You're either going to have to make a great tackle, or I'm going to get past you and I'm going to make a dangerous situation, a dangerous attempt, you know, at goal, or crossing it for Harry Kane, for Anthony Gordon, or Declan Rice arriving late. And Noni Madueke seems to be a player that's really thriving on confidence. The move to Arsenal seems to have helped him a lot. And his performance against Liverpool in the Premier League was also decent. I thought he was one of the main attacking outlets for Arsenal. And he's now carried that into the England camp. You know, getting the opening goal / cross against Andorra when we're struggling to break them down. Tonight as well, great flick on from Morgan Rogers from the pass from Elliot Anderson, but then running across his man, being intelligent, making Pavlovic either have to foul him or letting him go. Lets him go, dinks it over the keeper. And that's his first England goal. And that must mean a lot especially when you've made the move. It's been a turbulent summer. You've gone to a new team like Arsenal. You're not seen as the main man. You're seen as the Saka replacement, the guy behind Saka. Well, at the moment, Saka, of course, is going to be one of the main England weapons and main Arsenal weapons. And yes, he should always be starting. I'm not disputing that. But you're giving people a reason to say, okay, Saka, if you don't come back from injury and you're not on form and you're playing a bit off it, Arsenal and England have now both got to deputy that you're like, okay, I don't mind Madueke starting, because if he's playing the way he is right now, you're fine with it. He's dangerous. He's confident. He's creating. He seems to be a bit more unselfish in using the ball the right way. He knows when to pass it back and be safe, but also knows when to drive and commit his man. I'm really impressed with Noni Madueke start to the season, and fair play to him. And I think another player that I have to also follow that up with is former England under-21 international and now stepping in to the limelights of England is Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson today got the nod. He started in the number 6 role. People thought he might be rotated. Thomas Tuchel, I love that from you, bro, because you were brave. You're giving him the keys. You're giving him the backing that any young footballer would want. Not just playing against Andorra at home and everyone's like, okay, yeah, it was Andorra. It was only Andorra. No, I'm going to say, right, you're going to play against Serbia. You're going to go to a hostile atmosphere in Serbia where they're unbeaten in 7. And I want you to do exactly what you did against Andorra and showcase it again and give people a reason to say, yeah, Elliot Anderson, yes, you've earned your call up. Yes, he should be in the next squad and you've earned your place. And Elliot Anderson, you've done that. At 22 years of age, the only way is up for you. You're a midfielder that gives me all action vibes. You could play in any era. You know, you can tackle, you can do long balls, you pass through the lines, you can get up and down the pitch, you're athletic. You can score a goal or, you know, get on the end of things. You can create. I look at Elliot Anderson and I'm thinking, okay, after these 2 games, you have to be in the future England squads. You have to be. I'm sorry. Players like Jordan Henderson and whatnot, we're done with that time now. I look at someone like Elliot Anderson and I'm thinking, this is his time. Do I think he should be a nailed-on starter for the England team in the future? No. Do I think he should be in the squad? 100 million%. Because this is not just a player that's played 3 games for Nottingham Forest at the start of the season, all of a sudden been thrown in. He's won the England under-21 England under-21 European Championships. He was a key part of that with Harvey Elliott, James McAtee, and so forth. He's been at Nottingham Forest playing consistently. And he's been showing to Nottingham Forest fans, yes, I am the real deal. I should be starting alongside either Sangari or Douglas Luiz. And he's a nailed-on starter now, hopefully for Ange Postecoglou. This has been 9-10 months of consistency from Elliot Anderson, not showing it just in the Premier League, but now showing it at England level. And he duly deserves his place in the future England setups. And I love it because what I think about Elliot Anderson is that he's showing a level of maturity. He says, I'm going to do the basics. Yes, I'm nervous, but I'm going to stay calm. And if you do the basics right, the rest will then follow. And that is what's happened with Elliot Anderson. He's done the basics right for England against Andorra. Over 100 passes completed, 2 out of 2 long balls, 4 out of 8 aerial duels won. It was a complete performance against a team that, yes, is less opposition, but it fills your way into the England team. And then you do it again against Serbia, where you're very calm on the ball. You're passing through the lines. You're driving with it at times. You're allowing Declan Rice to do what Declan Rice wants to do. We all know Declan Rice isn't a 6. But now, Elliot Anderson, who isn't a 6 also, but he can play there, and he's showing that he can adapt, which is great at his age. He's allowing Declan Rice now to get further forward and be up and down, get involved in the attacks, arrive late into the box. And that's what football's about. It is about the partnerships. And considering they've only just played together now, Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson seem very good together. They're communicating well. They understand each other's roles. And that's what you want. Teamwork, efficiency, communication. It will lead to good energy on the pitch, and it will breathe throughout the team. So Elliot Anderson and Noni Madueke for me are the 2 players that have to get a shout out. And you know what, England, fair play to you defensively as well, because you've kept a clean sheet in a hostile atmosphere. Konsa very good, Guehi very good, Livramento calm again. You can't really complain. These are defenders that want to defend, but they're also defenders that can also play on the ball and they're comfortable. Konsa getting his goal, fair play to him. Guehi didn't get his move to Liverpool, could be in a different headspace, but no, he's been absolutely fine. He's been solid. And he's one of the best defenders, if not the nailed-on centre-back defender for England, alongside, whether it's John Stones, whether it's Guehi, whether it's whether it's Konsa, whether it's Dan Burn, whoever it is. But you can take your pick, really. And Reece James, another player that we all know his technical ability. He's gifted. If he can stay fit, he is probably the right back. Because when you look at complete right backs, he can defend, he can get forward, he can cross the ball. It's just, can he stay fit? He can do the inverted thing as well and go and support the midfield, especially when you're playing a bit more lesser opposition. Reece James is that nailed on right back for me if he can stay fit. So when you're looking at it now for England, they've got a little bit of a regular starting outfit now. You're starting to see what Thomas Tuchel was trying to build heading into the World Cup. Now, look, they're one game away from qualifying for the World Cup. You always expect England to qualify for the World Cup. But what I want to see now off the back of this performance against Andorra and now Serbia, which was the main one, the 5-0 win, is that I want to see a level of consistency now. I want to see if England can now put in the performances against Serbia, against other teams, and then carry it into the World Cup. Because one thing about England is that they find their way into semi-finals and finals, but I've watched them for years now in many major tournaments, and we seem to scrape by. We never seem to play great. But we've gone for a coach in Thomas Tuchel that likes to play attacking football. We've seen him win Champions Leagues at Chelsea. We've seen what he's done at Dortmund. You know, he can be entertaining to watch at times. And I now think he's starting to build this team. It's young, it's dynamic, it's energetic, and there's a lot of talent there. And now it's just about maximizing the talent and getting the best out of them. Now, do I think England will win the World Cup? No. Do I think the conditions might play a part in that as well, and they might struggle because the heat? Potentially, yes. But, you know, that is life. That is what it happens. That is what happens. But you've got to, you know, show your talent and do the best you can. But the way England have played tonight, I think there is a lot of positives to take from that. And I don't normally say that about England, but the way they've bounced back from the Andorra victory to go into that game and dominate Serbia like that, and individuals standing up and being counted for, seeing young players go out there with no fear, hunger, determined, and wearing that England shirt proudly, I can only big them up. And it was exciting. Like, for once, I actually enjoyed watching England tonight. I thought, yeah, do you know what? Every time they go forward, they might score. You know, fair play. I cannot complain. Thomas Tuchel must be a very happy man tonight. A lot of England fans watching this. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm sure you are very happy with that. And let me know in the comments your thoughts as well. Noni Madueke, Elliot Anderson, any other players that you want to discuss. I'll always get back to you guys. And I'm on my way to 5K. But guys, thank you for watching. A very, very good England performance. Fair play to them. Brilliant. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, guys, and big up.